except for, once again, War Thunder, the simulation game I originally intended to play, because apparently it's got some strange technical problem at the moment and doesn't want to start at all, at least in VR. I've tried everything, even rolled back my drivers, as they seem to say tells on the forums, but alas, it didn't. So I guess we're going to space now. I haven't shown my other favorite game yet on stream. This is Elite Dangerous, you might know it. It's a very, very interesting space game with somewhat of a complex scientific aspect to it. Actually models the entire how's it called in English? The Milky Way galaxy, yeah. With all its planets, stars and such. It's very cool. It has a great graphics. I believe it could be interesting to watch. Let's see how it goes. Little experiment for my stream. I'm sure you will like it. I played like thousands of hours. I have all the best ships. You'll see. Now hopefully starting up. Yeah. Well, I don't see anything in VR. I probably didn't start the VR version. That's not the best outcome. Go back. Second attempt. Play. Yeah, I have to click like this. Steam VR mode. Here it is. Originally I played this with the Oculus, so it was my save was brought ahead within the Oculus application, but it's synced to Steam, so I didn't have to start over when I got the Index headset. Now it's starting up correctly. I wish I knew what they're doing at Gaijin, the developer of War Thunder. I have no idea. They probably, like everyone else, don't care at all about the VR mode. It's extremely disheartening. Hasn't been working for upwards to a week now. Luckily we have many alternatives. And I guess they're helping their competitors, so it's not all to waste, at least from our point of view. Okay, it's all working okay. And here we are in the cockpit of the Federal Corvette, which is the absolute best combat ship in the game, probably even the best one in absolute. One that took me many weeks of grinding to reach. I'll try to show you an external view. Let me engage Super Cruise, which is the faster movement mode you have within the system, within one start system of the game. If I well remember, the last time I was playing I came to this place which is an absolute backwater. I'm very far from the star, as they say in Star Wars, the farthest from a luminous point of the galaxy. How was the quote? And so it's kinda hard to return here. After this point, we better explore. We'll see what it has to offer. This is a big gas giant. It has the usual assortment of rings, and rings in this game are actually very useful because it's where you gather your resources. There's an entire mining aspect to the game that you can entirely disregard, as I did, because I actually prefer fighting, as you well know by now. But you still care for resource extraction sites such as this one, because it's where not just miners congregate, but also space pirates that you can shoot at for the purpose of earning your, the bounty, yeah. And it's quite lucrative, even in the wars. Even in any case, you can earn well. Here we are, almost there. Now you'll see when you switch off your Super Cruise how everything becomes much clearer, and you can see what the rings are actually made of, which is in this case, they seem metal rocks. Didn't check it from the system view. Now for the external view of this thing, I believe I had it bound like this. No, like this. No. Here it is. It's a fairly hefty ship. It's got big guns. Yeah, like this. Now these should be... yeah, these are huge multi-cannons. It's the highest form of bullet-based weapon. projectile based, and there should be a big laser down here. Plus this ship also has a fighter bay, which means you can launch a little ship helping you, a fighter that is. I have an NPC pilot that pilots it. Here it comes. It's coming from the bottom. You can actually go and pilot it yourself, which I might do eventually. No, let's do it now. It's very fun to watch. It's extremely fast and nimble. Here we are inside the fighter now. Looks like something out of Battlestar Galactica. It's a silent ship almost. And over there is my big Corvette, which is now piloted by NPC. In an actually difficult fight, you better not do this, because it's not very good, of course. So let's see what we have. I might as well scout in the fighter, it's much faster. That's a federal agent, so he's a representative of the law. We better not go and bother him. And by him there is another. This is an exploration ship, also innocent. We are looking for criminals, you see. Look how the maneuvering system of this game is extremely realistic. It's actually a real simulator. Doesn't have full Newtonian physics, that means you don't have gravity in it, but inertia is very well modeled. You can actually disengage all assists, so you can fly, kind of drift in space, and it becomes difficult but also fun to correctly maneuver your ship. Now let's see if there is some action waiting for us here or not. This is actually, it's what I saw close by. It's just an high intensity, not extremely high. I don't remember it's dangerous. Yeah, when it says dangerous, you almost assuredly meet pirates. This is so and so. There's a 50% chance, let's say. This is a shitty Eagle. It's the tiniest ship in the game. It's probably a criminal. Yeah, when you actually can tell from the name of the ship. When it's named something like Grave, okay, which means a place of burying, then you know it's grim enough for being a pirate. We might as well engage this thing. It will take a minute. I'll go to shoot from it from my tiny fighter, otherwise it wouldn't even be fair. Let's see, to switch mode. Yeah, it was set like this. Might as well shoot this guy. It's just a tiny eagle, but we might start somewhere. Now, this would be quite hard to chase in my hulking Corvette, but now I'm piloting the fighter, so it's much easier. As you see, you are to the left, it's a representation of its ship with the compartment of shields. Now they're almost finished. We're going to wreck it very easily. Yeah, the shields are down. Now that's a percentage showing its health. It's at 89% at the moment. So we better pump. Here you see my huge Corvette doing absolutely nothing, because as I said, the NPC is totally useless when piloting it. That's unfortunately so often the case in video games. Look at this sight of the planet over there. Now he's finally started to shoot, which could completely wreck this guy. And that's one criminal less. Let's switch back to the mothership. And see what else we have here. Very little, in fact. I guess we better not waste too much space. I'm starting to recall the fighter while we make a final round. Let's see what else is here. Recall the fighter. Now should land, as shown here in the external view. Here it comes. Look at that. Well, at least he can maneuver it back to the hangar and keep being a nuisance. Well, except for the fact that he doesn't appear to be doing that. Recall the fireman. Roger that. Now you finally understand what I'm saying. Here you are. Meow. Should actually... Yeah, this is the one that folded its wing. Where it's recovered. No, there's absolutely nothing of business here. Let's zoom somewhere else. Now, if I well remember, this was a system that unfortunately doesn't have big stations. Hi, Nix. Welcome. Ah, yes, you're liking my story now. I don't know if you're already watching, Nix. I'm sorry, but I can no longer play War Thunder apparently, which was the favorite game of both of us, because it crashes all the time, man. It's horrible. So let's check if we have stations where we can land now. No, they're all small or medium station. These are unfortunately not usable from this big ship. So I'll just see if there is some other point of interest. Something maybe a little bit better. No, it's just resource extraction site big. I mean high. And that's not enough to make it interesting for us. Now I'll go also to the system map. This one. As I was saying, you have the entire Milky Way galaxy in this game. Although the planets are mostly randomly generated or completely fancy or fantasy, not real ones. Of course, we don't know about all these star systems. This is a system which has several gas giants and probably several resource extraction sites, but as I said, we cannot land to the station, which makes our main purpose, that is earning from the bounty of criminals, not very likely to realize. Therefore, I'm going somewhere else. Let's switch to a different. This is instead the galaxy view. You can actually unzoom it, and you will see the entire. This is called the bubble. It's basically the area where it's mostly populated. You have all the various systems inhabited by people. I also placed a lot of bookmarks, as you can see, because there's many points of interest. Then if you go to the maximum level of zoom, you can see the entire galaxy, entirely centered. Hi Nix, no, it's not Star Citizen, something much better in my opinion. This is Elite Dangerous, the actually working version of Star Citizen, much more extensive. Let's go, as I was saying. Wait a second, now I'm continuing the discourse. This is a democracy which is currently experiencing a boom. Yeah, could be interesting. I'll go there. As I was saying, this is Elite Dangerous. It's a game developed in Britain. It's very cool. Has been improving a lot recently. Now they go pretty slow in their development, but every time they add something, it gets to an even better complete product, which Star Citizen cannot say yet. And you have, well, most of all, you have an entire universe to explore. Now Star Citizen at the moment has just one or two systems. Now I'm stopped explaining. Now I'm using the hyperspace, which brings me to another system. It's actually a very cool effect, because when you come out of this state, you are right in front of the star of the new system. It's like the very gravity of the star stops you from hyperspace, as you see, and you can go around it. And actually you have a system that you mount on your ship. It's called a fuel scoop that refuels your ship from the energy of the star. I'm doing it right now. It's that bar on the right, and also here on top. You have several grades of it. Every module you mount on your ship, it's quite complex. Every module has various grades. Now my temperature is rising. That's to be expected. We don't care. It's a very hardy ship. And I actually refueled enough. So you've known it. Let's check the system view and see if this is more lucrative of a place. There are again many gas giants. I'll go towards one and see what happens. So I'm selecting here on the left. Where is it? Planets and moons. These are big stations, I've seen them. So I can land here and actually earn from the bounties. Well, there's only one that is at a reasonable distance. It's a multi-star system, so the others are extremely far. There's only one planet we can easily reach. It's Ross 754. And it's not a gas giant, but it does have a station. Well, could still be interesting. Let's see. Won't have a resource gathering zone. Now I'm noticing my heat sinks are deactivated. That's not good. Sometimes it does it, I don't know why. Okay, I'm out of ammo. I was fighting last time. Yes, it's great in VR. It's one of the killer applications for this method of gameplay at the moment. No, I'll tell you what, this is not worth it. I'll do something I often do. I'm going to look for a system that is currently in a state of war, so we can get right into the action. This is a combat ship after all. So you go state, war and civil war. So now all the stars are filtered from the galaxy map except for ones where there is a war at the moment, which unfortunately seems to be none around here. It's a very peaceful regional space. This doesn't play really into our hands. Okay, Pakalite, no idea how it's pronounced, has currently a war. It's a G star, white yellow, with an economy which is half industrial and half refinery, I mean. Let's see how far it is. It's just 2 jumps in hyperspace. I guess it will be worth it instead of staying here. There is absolutely nothing worth of mentioning, so we better engage hyperspace again. We're going to pass through a system which has a brown dwarf star. That's something you have to account from, because brown stars don't emit radiations that you can use to refuel. So if you're low on fuel, you better avoid them. You can actually end up stranded in space in this game, and there's even a player-organized group. It's called the Fuel Rats, which you can write to, and they send someone to rescue you. It's very cool. I never had to use it, but I once did a rescue for a friend that ended up stranded. It gives you a real feeling of satisfaction. Here's the brown dwarf. It's not brown at all, as you can see, more of a violet thing. Doesn't refuel your ship. Well, since we are here, we might check the planets, points of interest. Well, I just use a map. No, this sucks. It's a very cold, barren system. There's nothing. Let's go to Pakalite, where they have, as we have just checked, a war at the moment. It's a nice security system. This is also important depending on your style of gameplay. If you want to be a pirate and hunt other ships, and high security system is better avoided, of course. You can also be a smuggler, and it's something I did to get to this point. You can earn a lot. There are several goods you trade in this game, and some are forbidden in certain systems. If you actually manage to sneak inside the station and sell them, you earn a lot of money. BRH. I wish I knew what you mean to tell me, Nix. Here we can again refuel, but it's not yet needed. Okay, here we have a big ship, 344,000. It's again very far from the star. Almost unreachable, in fact. But there should be a war going on. Or so I hope. Give me points of interest. Yeah, it's probably a war in 342,000 units. It's extremely far, not worth it. Unless, that is, it's around these planets. Let's see. There should be a couple around me. It's the same star after all. Yeah, just 2,000. I'll go there and see. You can even fight the war and then cash in the money from another system. So the fact that the station is far is not necessarily a problem. There might also be ground settlements, maybe on the planet's moon, where we also could land with this big ship. So I'm again filtering by points of interest. We're at 1800 light seconds from the planet at the moment. Won't be long to reach. 1 minute, it says. Now in this game you don't have an actual autopilot unless you mount a specific module that just slows down your ship in time with the distance, but you can as well do it by yourself. It's not difficult once you get the trick down. At first you lose a lot of time with it, then you understand. All you have to do basically is to go to about 75% of the speed. Yeah, here's the wall. Medium intensity conflict zone. Let's start with a medium intensity zone. Now you see, combat is incredibly cool in this game. So when you're at 10 seconds, what you do is you have a button for this. You go to 75% speed, and the ship actually slows down by itself by employing some sort of logarithmic scale. You can see it on the side of the radar, to the right of it in fact. And it slows down by itself. It's at 65 compared to the max, but since the max changes based on the distance, it basically slows down by itself. This is the big gas giant, as before. We're always going around gas giants. That's where most of the action is in this game, because they have a lot of moons. Since it's procedurally generated, many moons mean many points of interest. We are not going to land on a station first. We don't need to. We can as well start shooting now, then ask for compensation. One little problem is that I'm out of heat sinks, so if the things get too hectic, I'll have to leave. not too difficult in this kind of ship. Let's see if we have stations or settlements around here. Bacigalupi. I know that guy. Bacigalupi is a writer. A writer of science fiction, actually. Axion of Orbital is too far, but Bacigalupi Bastion is reachable. Okay, now it's slowing down. Almost there. Conflict zone. Bacigalupi is the guy that invented the biopunk genre, if I'm not mistaken. I read a novel, it was really cool. Okay, here we are. Now, when you enter the conflict zone, first you're a neutral participant to the battle. That means no one's going to take initiative and attack you first. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this time to actually synthesize a couple of heatsink at least. You can do it by using the minerals you have on board your ship. Let's see where it is. It's called FSX, configurable plasma munition. These are for mining. High velocity, large current. Here it is, heatsinks. Yeah, it uses basic conductors and head conduction wiring, so not minerals, components. But I do have them. Resupplying at least one heatsink. Yeah, it's different. This game is quite complex. But it's worth it, trust me, Nix, you'll see. Now, when we start shooting, you probably recognize the style of gameplay. Here comes my heatsink. I'll probably have to turn on the heatsink launcher too. Yeah, it never does it automatically. You could resupply from here, that's new. They added it in the interface. Okay, now I'm going to declare for either one of the two factions that are fighting in this zone. We have the liberals of Suwan, or the nobles. Let's fight for the liberals, I'm a rebel like that. It's a democracy with 21% influence, so then at this moment in time they are even. Let's make the difference here. I'm also launching the fire, of course, like before. It's going to help with my NPC pilot. Now, as you see, the ladder has color itself. You have the greens, which are friends, and the reds that are enemies. There's a lot going on. Battles are always like this in this game. It's kind of like Star Wars, so it's less scientific in this. I don't believe space battles could actually develop like this, also close range, so chaotic. But it's a lot of fun to play. I'm following this guy here. That's just a Viper. Well, it's a tiny ship, it's not worth it. I want something bigger. Now I'm scrolling through the targets. Here's a Python. A Python is a fairly big medium ship. It's one of the first big ones you get, but it's almost nothing compared to mine. They're already attacking me, and they will have to attack for quite a bit before I start feeling it. Now I'm firing with my huge multi-cannons that are employing actually incendiary munitions. Incendiary munitions, this is completely unrealistic, there is no fire in space. In any case, what they call incendiary munitions is something that has a kind of a thermal effect, which makes it more effective against shields, and that's what we want, especially in the beginning of a battle. I'll do another thing also. I'm turning on night vision. Night vision is very useful. It highlights your targets quite efficiently. There's another guy shooting me from the right. I don't know what it is, but I don't care. It will take at least 3 or 4 of them before I start to feel it. Now you have 2 types of weapon on this in this game. In fact there's 3 plus missiles, but the ones I use most of the times are 2, which are the ones mounted on a gimbal, such as my multi-cannons, that automatically aims to a degree, so they follow the target by themselves, but can also be confused by chance. And then you have the fixed weapons, and I also have some of those. I have 2 cannons, which I just noticed are currently out of ammo, so I'm not using the cannons, but I also have a couple of ray guns. And this always shot straight. It's very useful when the enemy uses chaffs. And they also do more damage because they require so much more skill to use. You actually have to point your ship at the target. He's almost dead, this guy. I'm also not the only one shooting at him, curative. Already 30% health. Shields are completely gone and will soon be a ball of fire. Of that fire that shouldn't even exist in space. Now we're using also the railguns. Railguns do hit your ship quite a bit, so you have to employ them with attention, otherwise you risk overheating. Now he's almost dead, 6%, and this takes care of the Python. This being a combat zone, you're not going to get a bounty, but rather war bonds that you can cash in from one of the stations in the system, or one of the settlements, since this system doesn't have a reachable station. Let's synthesize also ammo for our cannons. It would be a shame not to use them. Cannons are named large caliber munition, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No, this takes sulfur. I don't have sulfur at the moment. No, aspetta un attimo. No, these are for the... how's it called? That's for the rail guns. I don't need it. I need not high velocity, but rather large caliber. No, it's this one. No, I cannot do it. Okay, so we'll fly without the cannons for the moment. At least for as long as I get to the base and resupply. I see these are all small ships. Well, technically speaking, this one is a medium. It's an Aspect Explorer, but it's not a combat ship, so it's extremely easy to destroy. Still, it's an elite ranked NPC, which means it's big. It's worth more. It's worth it. I'll go and chase it. Just 6 kilometers of distance. Imagine if war in space was fought at 6 kilometers of distance. Not even as much as modern flying jets. It's kind of ridiculous. It makes for more interesting and spectacular battles. That's also a Spec Ops Wings. That means it's a special objective. That's something they added in the latest update. Actually, if you complete all special objectives, you earn more. Look at the planet down there. That's a strange gas giant. It's so green. I wonder what kind of atmosphere it has. It's all modeled, actually. You can go and look at the stats of the planet, tells you about the gravity, its orbital time. It's a really scientific experience. You might as well crash into this guy. Nah, he ran away. I run in low on shields, by the way. Now I'll show you what you have to do when you run on shields. You have this module, of which I mounted 2 on this ship. It's called a shield cell that recharges them in a second in exchange for a lot of heat. So that's the reason you actually have to mount heat sinks, because when you fire the shield cell, you also fire the heatsink. Otherwise, you risk breaking some module within your ship. Yeah, him being an elite NPC actually gives him fairly powered up shields. Normally, an Aspect Explorer would have been already destroyed. But this guy is a Spec Ops, so that's come to be expected. Now he's using chaff. You see how my G-Bald weapons go all this way and that, and I'm mostly hitting him with the rail guns, which are fixed. Won't survive long under this kind of barrage. Would be already dead if I had the cannons. Unfortunately, they're out of ammo. What are you doing, man? He wants to take me from the front. That's not a smart idea. Yeah, I'm definitely low on ammo. By the fact that he's still alive, it's quite clear. I'm not operating at 100% efficiency. Now he's trying to make a run for it. They can actually try and escape sometimes, but I don't think he will succeed on account of the fact that when you engage the super cruise in this game, you take longer based on how big a ship is chasing you at the moment. I'm much bigger than him, actually almost huge compared to him. So I won't be able to escape. He's suppressed, it's called. Also something that seems to recall a bit of Star Wars. I crashed into him. Actually managed to reload its shield. It's much harder than I imagined, this guy. Now it's finished. 87%. He also mounted probably some armor module. That's kinda rare to see in an Aspect Explorer. It's a very customizable ship, the Aspect Explorer. It's kinda like the Millennium Falcon of this game. You can use it to go to range very far from the inhabited bubble. You can use it to land on planet and explore them, as its name implies. But you can also outfit it to be a combat ship, and he indeed seems to have done it. Now I'm firing another shield cell, because him together with some other guy that is currently pounding my ass is actually starting to make a dent in my shield. It's unexpectedly difficult. It's now at 63% life. Keep shooting. I'm also out of railgun ammo. Yeah, I definitely have to resupply at this point. Ah, there is a little problem here. The chat window is covering... Yeah, that's what happened. I'm actually out of ammo, completely. No, I'm only shooting with the laser. It's going to last ages, this combat. I'd better go away. I'm sorry. Luckily you were much bigger, so as I said, I can easily leave the zone. I also left here the the fighter. They cost very little. Okay, now I need to resupply. I'll have to head to a settlement. Let's try the Bashigalupi station. It's on a planet at 3,400 light seconds. Now we're slowly accelerating. I have to move the chat window a bit to the right. It's covering my ammo, lest I risk incurring again in this problem. You better know what ammo you have left. Where's the cursor? Here it is. So we're moving this a bit to the right, I guess. Rotate it like this. Well, maybe more ahead. And now to the right. I can still follow the ship's advancement from behind the window, so we're not going to overshoot the target. What the hell? Yeah, this looks readable. Let's see if it works well within the context of the game. Well, I cannot see. Yeah, it's not covering the weapons. Yes, this is much better. A bit smaller. I cannot read as well the chat. Well, the station is still far. I can improve it. Come closer. Yes, by the power of the force, I compel you. Here it is. And I can now read the ammo. Yeah, I'm completely out of ammo. Everything at 0. I was shooting at him only with the laser, which has unlimited ammo. I'll also show you planetary landings. It's incredibly cool. It's a new thing they added in an expansion that came out some years ago. So it's not a new thing, it's new for these who started to play earlier. Ship seems to have stopped for some reason. That's because maybe I lost... yeah, that's because I had lost focus on the window. Okay, we'll have to accelerate again. Won't take long, I promise. There's also a lot of movement around that big Bacigalupi's bastion. I see several planets. We could find something good around there too. Also, maybe accept a mission or two. Missions are the meat of the game, after all. It's not just freeform fighting like what I've shown you. There's a complete system of reputations for literally thousands of factions. There's two main ones, which are the Empire and the Federation, and also a third one, the Free Planets Alliance, but you can't gather reputation for that. And then there's all the single factions of the system. These are you see the ones in this system, among which the liberal group, the liberals of Zufo, which I fought, that will probably welcome me with open arms when I land at the station now. And each of them can have more or less influence and a better or worse reputation. This influence is in turn what kind of missions you can accept and complete for them. Here is the planet. I don't know if you can check. Yeah, you can see from here. It's a planetary port. Doesn't tell you much about the system though. In a state of war, relationship is still neutral. Well, I didn't start participating in the war from much time. That's an identified signal source, but I better not waste time. I'll go to the station now. That's another big gas giant, I guess. Yes, we're actually pointing for one of the moons. You can't land on a gas giant, of course. It's not solid enough. It's the farther satellite, as you can see. It's got huge rings. This planet could have many criminals hiding among them. Yeah, there's an extension site, Hazardous. That's the word I wasn't remembering. That's going to have a lot of bounties we can get. Let's go to this settlement now. Landing on a planet takes a slightly longer time than doing so within a station, but also looks way cooler. Better slow down. We're going in the dark side of the planet, actually. No, well, more like along the terminal line. Should be pretty spectacular, I reckon. Unfortunately, at the moment, you can only land on planets that lack an atmosphere in this game. It's probably... I believe it might be coming the next year, when they start feeling threatened by Star Citizen. We're probably going to finally have planetary landings on atmospheric ones. But still, you can do a lot on this planet. It's somewhat barren, but still very interesting planet. I'll also show you that, since we're going down. I might as well. Now we're at a height of 300 kilometers. 200 now. We can't see much, unfortunately it's night. 150 kilometers. Now I'm coming at the point where the gravity well of the planet starts to pull you in. So you sort of glide to the objective like this. Glide engage. I tend to use my boosters when this happens to try and shorten the time required. Also diverting all my power to the engines. Now 85 kilometers. I have night vision engaged, but I can still see nothing. It's probably got a maximum range. This is still 60 kilometers away after all. Yeah, it's, I believe, a novel. It even won the Hugo Prize, which is the yearly prize they give for best science fiction, the one wrote by Bacigalupi. Must have read it a couple of years ago. It spoke about a planet where all mineral energies were depleted, our planet of course, and the only energy left was the one coming from, actually from life, so they had all this genetics technology. Maybe they really live like this here, who knows. Genetic technology that transformed animals in engines and something like that. Kinda strange and also interesting to read. Don't remember the plot much. Request docking though, must be because of the time that has passed. Okay, docking request denied. Why? Must be closer, I guess. Docking request denied. Well, you might tell me why. They don't want me. Why don't you? Hey, this place also has... Hey, it's got pretty strong gravity. Oops! Touched the ground. The gravity was stronger than I expected. Now, let's try and understand why these guys don't want me in their port. That's very rude of them. Maybe there's too much movement. Actually, all landing bays might be occupied. Look at... These are all NPCs. We're actually online. There are players in this game. Doesn't tell me why. Docking request denied. That's troublesome. If I cannot resupply here, we're in trouble. Target destroy? No, that's from the old battle. Tell you what, I'm going to momentarily... Wait a second, that guy left the base. Try again? No. Oops, I turned on the boosters. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to exit and re-enter the game. It will put me in the exact same place. And maybe we take just a second, it is often done. Probably we'll reset the station and maybe it will let me land, hopefully. Because as I said, if it doesn't, we have to leave the system. The only station is too far. As you see, it took just a second. Request docking? Yeah, it worked. Here it is. No, I think I have to be a little closer. Yeah, they usually give you at 7.5 kilometers. Just about. We're coming from the top now. Like this. Yes. Now it tells me I can land on pad 8. You can actually use that little dot on the left of the radar to know where it's situated. Seems to be more to the left. I don't know, Nix, probably. I'm afraid it was actually a bug. I haven't been very lucky with bugs lately. So, where is the docking bay 8? No, it's to the right. I was completely wrong. Here it is. It's not very easy to control this huge ship when you go and land. There's another guy landing to the left. Okay. Now the landing gear should be this one button here. And of course I overshoot the landing. I believe I also have the landing autopilot, we might as well use it. Yeah, it's going to do everything by itself. Should have done it from the start. Here it comes. Wanted to show you the ship, but yeah, here it is. The Eagle has landed. Actually, kind of morphed through the landing bay, but you can't ask for too much precision from this guy. And now I refuel, repair, and most of all restock all my weapons. This is a military complex. I might as well go and see what they sell. Military is interesting. Actually enter the hangar. You have to. And now we can check the missions while it's entering the hangar. Here you can trade with the station, but it's not a station that's going to have much for sale. Also, I'm not a trading ship at the moment. Let's see what it has to offer in the mission department. We're going to look, of course, for combat missions. We have some assassination mission. 340 credits too little. 3 million massacre nobles. 48 ships from the Mongols. Well, 48 seems a big number, but not necessarily so when you fly in a war, so I'm going to take it. These are the liberals of Tsu, by the way, the guys I started to fight for already. That's already a good mission. Massacre, engage and destroy. Nothing else it seems. Let's see if there are some community goals. No, at the moment there aren't any. They used to have these objectives for the whole community of the game that lasted upwards to a week, but lately they seem to have started adding them. Look at this hangar. It's a cave. It's like in the Bat Cave. They might have interesting weapon, maybe, for sale. Ah, well, they indeed do. They sell mostly everything here. Multi-cannons, beam laser. I might actually go and change the burst laser under the ship for a beam laser. That damages more the ships of the enemy. I'll do this as a modification. It's powered up now, it's rank 4. I guess I'm not going to switch it. Maybe I'll change... yeah, among the fighters, they actually vary quite a bit depending on where you are. Yeah, I'm putting on the ship a Condor. Rogue F, 2 fixed multi-cannon. Yeah, we fixed weapons. Does more damage. No, this one is huge. It's the Federal Corvette is one of the biggest one in the game. It's carrying other little ships on it. Now you'll see. Also, let's visit Universal Cartographic. That's where you sell the exploration data of the places where you've been. Well, not too bad. 5,000 credits. Haven't sold for a while. I'm up to 58 millions at the moment. And let's see if I can cash in something. Well, the combat bonds I got from that little very short fight. There's also a black market here. That's good to know. I'll tell you what, since we do have... or don't we? No, there isn't a ship bay here. No, because I wanted to call... you can recall your other ships. I wanted something smaller to fly and show you, but I cannot do it here. Pachigalupi Bastion doesn't have a shipyard, so we might as well leave. We got a mission for destroying many noble ships. We might as well go and do that. I'll also turn on the other heatsink since it's now supplied. Resupply? No, what are you doing? It's already supplied. I have just to turn on the module like this. Okay. I don't know if leaving the planet is what I should do at this point. We might try and scout it for some points of interest. Sometimes you can find good resources on planets. Plus, I'd like to show you how you move on the ground. I do have an SRV. Yeah, I mounted it. It's very interesting, the ground exploration part of this game. You actually can find alien relics, abandoned mines and the like. It's an entire aspect that some people play to a larger degree than me, I guess. So what you do is actually you have to fly to a height of about 3 kilometers. Then on your radar, you have blue zones of interest that indicate where you're supposed to go and check if there's something of value. Incoming mission clear, that's for the mission I just accepted. It's an alternative contract. So there's this guy, named Squire Gould, that tells me you accepted a mission for the liberals. I have a counter offer. He's going to pay me more if I instead switch banners and shoot the liberals of Tsu instead. That's very treacherous, I like it. Let's accept the offer. So now I'm supposed to actually go and fight for the nobles by killing 48 liberal ships. This is a blue zone. I'll try to go down and see if there's something of interest before going and fulfilling my mission contract. That's the city over there. I better remember, this place has strong gravity. I'm going to crash into the ground again. I see something there. I think I saw... Yeah, VR is very useful for this. What are those? I'll go and check. There's some kind of structure. Unless I'm mistaken, that is. Yeah, they're very small because we're still at 400 meters. Well, it's rocks, but rocks can contain useful and valuable minerals. Plus I'm out of what you need to synthesize cannon rounds, as we know. Let's try and land a minute. I'll show you how the SRV works. You can land everywhere in this game. And you can explore any place. Yeah, I came down a little strongly. This is much too rough terrain for this ship to land. Unsuitable. Maybe a bit farther. What I do usually in these cases is I move slowly along the ground and wait until it turns softly blue, which means you can land. Still nothing. This is a shitty terrain indeed. Ah, wait a second, I saw some blue. Go back. It takes a while, this thing is heavy. Maybe here. I'm looking now, the radar has turned into a little scanner thing, as you can see. Doesn't want to make me land there. No, it doesn't necessarily make you an outlaw. It depends. Depends on who owns the structures. I cannot land in this blasted place. Ah, maybe you meant the change of banner. No, you can do anything goes in war in this game. It's allowed in either case. This place is really impossible to land on. Not wasting further time on this. No, wait. I was going away, but now I see a lot of blue. If this blasted thing slowed down maybe a second. Why are you sliding sideways? Yes. I can do it. Here it is. No, this is not going to cut it. Here it is. Unsuitable, unsuitable. Turn blue. Here it is. Alignment okay. But it's not landing. Now it landed. Okay, finally. Whew. And now you deploy your SRV, which means you're actually getting ejected from the ship in this little car thing. I'm going to pilot it actually with my wheel. I have a wheel here that I use for driving games and also for this. Now, just this morning I blogged about the original lunar rover module that they used in the Apollo mission, so I learned for the first time that this isn't very realistic. They didn't have a wheel on the lunar rover. They actually piloted with a joystick. Yes, managed to land finally, Nix. So, while not realistic, I still enjoy to pilot this thing by using a wheel and pedals. It's more familiar, so to say. This is the module. Oh, I'd like to show you. Yeah, you move it like this. Well, it's very dark. Also, it doesn't let me... Yeah, signal lost. Here it is. It's a little smart car of a thing. Really compact with 6 wheels. That's me inside it. As you can see, it's so dark, this place. So, as I said, this is a place that seemed to have interesting minerals. I think I spotted them And how you find them is by using this scanner you have above the radar. Here's the ship, you can see how big it is, it's really hulking. It's a beast of a ship, takes thousands of hours to get it. So this radar thing here, it was kind of like the one from the Alien series of movies, the Xenomorph Alien, from Ridley Scott. And when you have something of value ahead of you, it appears with higher stripes. I see some here. You have to kind of learn and recognize the shades of these lines. Because it can tell you about the points of interest. This is a fairly big crater. This is a big rock, but doesn't seem to have minerals in it. Well, maybe a little bit from the side. You have also jets. I don't remember the button of. Maybe I set it on this. Ah, no, I remember. Okay, I set it on the... Actually, I set it on the radar for in my airplane control setup. You press the radar to the right and you engage the jets, so you can fly. Well, you could if I had diverted power to the engines. Here it is. This looks valuable. That's actually a canister of something. Geological equipment. That's bound to be worth some money. Let's see, how did you open... No, that's the turret. That's the cargo screw. Unfortunately, these are the big type of canister. I can only carry 2 on this vehicle. These are polymers. Indium. Indium is worth quite a bit. That's narcotics. Narcotics. No, I better not pick up. Yeah, I'll take the indium. Narcotics are going to be a problem. These are, of course, illegal. And also, this is a material. Of this, I can carry as many as I want. It's shield emitters. You use these for upgrading your ships. And that's sometimes rare, sometimes valuable. I don't know about shield emitters in particular, probably not. But I might as well pick them up. Something else here. That's beryllium. I cannot carry it. These are SRV only carries 2 things. 2 canisters, that is. Let's carry back what I got to the ship. And go kill these nobles. This thing goes quite fast. It was basically undrivable until I thought of using my wheel for piloting it. I actually use both the wheel and the joystick. Just for when you take off. It's a very interesting control setup. I'd like an entire game made like this as we had back in the day, but nowadays wouldn't probably sell enough to warrant its making. Oh, well, I said it had 6 wheels, but it actually has probably it's 12 because each wheel is doubled. So back to our trusty Corvette here. Look at it. It's indeed beautiful. It's autonomous, it can fly by itself while you are in the vehicle. If it's attacked, it's going to try and make a run for it. So you're not completely in danger of losing it. Now, this is a game where you're supposed to die almost never. If you fail somehow, if you die even once, it can cost you many hours of grinding. So there's always a risk when you take out of the hangar ships such as this one. Okay. Now I'll get sucked into the ship together with my bounty. Here it says, stay clear, stand clear. And we can take off again. Hi, okay Nix, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I always enjoy your presence in the stream. And now we're boosting off the planet where Basigalupi Bastion is situated. What was the name of the planet? No idea. Pakalit, it's just a number probably. And let's go back to the war zones and try to fulfill our mission. We do have about 40 nobles to scratch off the universe. War zones are points of interest. There's a resource extraction zone and a conflict zone low intensity. Let's go to the low intensity. In fact, it doesn't make much of a difference when it says low or high intensity. They all seem to have the same intensity, to me. Look at this place, Glorious Cockerel. What is that? I should be able to engage a super cruise now, yeah? We're out of the gravity pit. And of course, the conflict zone is on the other side of the planet. You can tell because it has a dashed, how is it said? A dashed symbol on the HUD. Now we're fully resupplied, so we'll be much more lethal. It's going to slowly accelerate. We're still influenced by the planet. Now we'll soon go faster. We have to clear the orbit of the planet and its own terminal line. You can only see the horizon as the point where the stars start to appear. It's just 2.39 light seconds, very close. And here it is, no longer dashed. Ah no, it's not on the other side of the planet, it's on another planet, but it's still not too far. It's a war against the liberals and the nobles, just what they wanted. Ciao! Yeah, ciao, it's spelled without the H. That's a funny word, ciao, sounds very, very fun for an Italian. We actually had little characters from the Sonic series of game, which were named Ciao, if I'm not mistaken. That's the star, it's a brown dwarf. This is also a brown dwarf. Still unable to allow for the development of much more types of planets, it seems. But since we're moving that much, let's go to an high intensity zone. No, it's the other way. But still it should be closer, I think. Judging by the HUD, it should be closer. Let's go to the high intensity. It's more interesting like that. Probably we'll have more missions. It's another unidentified signal source. This should be another gas giant there on the left, I think. Doesn't look big enough to be a star. Now, one thing that is extremely cool in this game, you see all the stars in the sky actually are positioned correctly according to your place in the universe. If you move much, if you go on another side of the galaxy, you would see a completely different skybox as it should. And that's another scientific interesting point. Could actually be used for the sake of simulation, I believe. I'll probably show you in the final part of the stream another game I have, if we can call it so. It's not actually just a game, that is named Space Engine. It recently had a VR upgrade, and is a even more scientific version of this. You can actually go down on any kind of planet at that. There isn't much of a gameplay, but it's incredibly cool to see. You have no idea how cool it is if you have never seen that thing in motion. But let's first destroy our nobles. Now when you go and you have these long stretches you have to navigate, the game actually has an in-game radio that tells you about the background information for the plot of the game, that actually develops while you're playing, day after day. They have some interns, I guess, in the software house writing a story for this game. And it sometimes reflects in the community objectives, but currently we don't have any. So it's telling the Federation delivers, I guess it's a new, yeah, they're building a new planetary port in Golconda. We should go and see. You can go and see, but I don't know how far it is. Probably I need a different ship. This thing doesn't go very far in a single jump, it's too heavy for it. Okay, now we're not too far, 36 seconds now. Wasn't so close, this conflict zone. "19 seconds. And now I start to slow down. As I told you before, I put the throttle to 75%, so I'm not going to overshoot the objective. At least you usually don't. Of course, we're going to fight for the other side now, since we want to kill nobles. Take down. No, wait a second. I have to kill liberals. Okay, I had to kill nobles. Now I have to kill liberals. I switched sides. It's worth 1.3 million of credits, this mission. Not too bad. You also get the bounties for your kills, so it's in addition to that. It's the same planet as before, okay, the one with the big rings, somewhat greenish hue. Light A1. Unfortunately, they came with all these interesting names for the stations, but the planets themselves are just named with a number. Now the conflict zone is just a point in space. It has nothing you can see from here. You get there and there's a battle around you. It actually warns you when you start getting in there. I guess you would want to avoid it if you're a merchant ship. But we're very, very far from it. Okay, now I'm launching the new fighter. Might as well launch it. Let's see how it is. Well, from the interior it looks entirely the same. But if I'm not mistaken, this is the less agile, more powerful one. Should have powerful lasers. What is it? No, it's multi-cannons. Even better. So it can run out of ammo. So as I said, now we fight for the nobles. Because we're devious and we switched sides. Where is it? Ah, I saw it. Switching page, switching page. I saw it for a second, now I no longer see it. Ah, here it is. So like this, and it disappears. What the hell? I had to declare my side. Probably you cannot do it from the fighter, I guess. Let's switch to the mothership. No, it's the same. I think I got it. Yeah, you have two tabs here, actually. This is something they changed recently. No, this is the chat for the system. Well, if it works like this... Thank you, join. That's for multiplayer. I don't understand what the problem is. I'm in the conflict zone, yet I cannot declare my allegiance. Maybe I should turn around, get closer to the center of it. I can see it shooting all around me. Levels, reputation change, okay. Squadron feed, and it's not that. Ooh, there's a capital ship coming in, that's too cool. You see, these things are huge, even compared to this thing, to my own. I heard the boom, and now I see it. Here it comes, that's basically a Star Destroyer thing. Now I don't care for declaring sets, I'll just go and shoot that thing. Can be dangerous, mind you. Well, actually I should declare my side, but I cannot for some reason. That's a beast of a ship. How's it called? It's a Farragut. So this means the war is at its more crucial part. Tell you what, I'll just shoot the liberals, so the nobles will know I'm on their side, since I cannot declare. That's a mission target, yeah. It's a federal dropship. I don't care about the big guy, let's go after the... This was a friendly original. But now they're no longer our friends, because we got paid by their enemies. That's the pirate style of life. I see the nobles have got the message, now they're friendly to me, as you can see in the radar. That's a very much easier and quicker way to declare your allegiance. You just start shooting the other side. I'm under attack from many sides, actually. Should have checked which side the big ship was on. We can take quite a beating before having to worry on this powerful federal corvette. Look at it. I should know if it's my friend or not, that's important. Now we're using our full array of weapons, unlike before. I have ammo for everything, so it won't survive for long. Ah, hi Mark. Thank you. On the right side, you say? Well, it didn't work. I don't know. I usually have no problems doing it. I believe they must have changed the user interface recently. You say on the right side. So probably I had to... Well, okay. It's too late now. I believe originally they didn't turn green if you hadn't declared your side, but it's the same. Works well. I'll just bring down this federal ship and then look at the Farragut again. Let's recharge our shield. Starting to take a little bit of a beating, but most of all was because I crashed into him. It tends to really erode your shields. %, now. And this is the final passage needed. This takes care of the... No, that's going to need another passage.
Shields are down. Can you keep them off me while I regenerate, Commander?
Of course, the NPC piloting.
Picking up some nasty scars, Commander.
The fighter is complaining, they always do that. Okay, so the Farragut is actually our enemy. The Farragut battle cruiser. From the Liberals of Tsui. That's not part of my mission, but it would be a shame to leave it unattended, wouldn't it? I'll recharge my shield first, without using an heatsink since I'm not in combat. Will bring my temperature high to 150%, but will go right back down without causing too much damage. And we'll save an heatsink. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you cannot actually destroy the capital ships, but you can take off their turrets, at which point they have to retreat. When you destroy all turrets, they retreat, and you get the points for it. The fighter was destroyed. Has to be expected in a conflict zone. I believe I shouldn't stop here. Seems kinda dangerous to do. It brings back memories from the X-Wing time, that old game. The DOS-based X-Wing game was great, man. I still remember it. I have many fond memories. Now I'm turn off flight assist so I can sort of drift and slide. And then we should play the music from Initial D. %. Ah yeah, I wasn't hitting it because it was under the ship. Like this. 47, 44, now using also cannons and rail guns. Okay, the turret is gone. I'm going backwards. Also because I disabled flight assist. Starting to target me. Recharge a shield and go away. I don't think I can take the kind of damage this thing does. What kind of dangerous maneuver, eh? I also had some guy following me. Okay, it's just an Asp Explorer. We better punish him. Ah yeah, launch another fighter. Launch the Condor again. Its multi-cannons seem to be quite effective. The NPC never dies because you see he's actually piloting the fighter with telepresence, so he's still in the ship right with me. I'll have to recharge the shields again. This is indeed a high intensity combat zone. Couldn't be more high intensity than this. It's even got the Farragut cruiser. You nasty liberal. We were all for the liberal lifestyle before being paid by the nobles, but we better not tell him that. Sound design in this game is awesome, I tell you. You can hear how it zips around you. It's incredibly immersive in VR. Even without VR, in fact. %. Why every explorer I encounter today seems to be hardier than a barbarian? I explore only now. Yeah, good advice, Mark. Thank you. I'm going to do it next passage. I actually forgot about it. Kind of neglecting my pizza at the moment. Nice having someone who reminds me. Thank you again. You tend to neglect them when you use mostly projectile-based weapons. You don't have to worry as much about the energy. Okay. Whereas lasers actually consume a lot of your power source, so you better manage these speeds well. Let's look for another turret. I'll put energy to systems and also... No, let's just put it on systems. Like this, systems. Everything on system, a little bit of engine, I guess. 2 on engine, 3 on system. What do you say, Mark? I don't need many weapons. It's all multi-cannons and just one laser on the ship. Here's another turret. Turning off. Flight assist. Well, I'm aiming straight at the ship. No, wait a second. Didn't drift the correct way. Still do some damage on this passage, I guess. Just didn't use the cannons because they're fixed and didn't have time to... Well, I mostly must have damaged it with cannons earlier. I don't really much now. Yeah, thank you, Mark. Really, I mean it. $89. Now I'm doing some damage. Why am I getting so hot? Not using any shield cell at the moment. Cannot hit that blasted turret. Now it's firing at me with like 3-4 turrets. They say they should actually make these ships controlled by players very soon. I think it was supposed to be in the next update, whereas they had to actually prioritize solving some bugs the game had shown in the latest one. Come on, I'm not moving from here until this thing gets destroyed. Yeah, multi-cannons don't seem to do much. Let's use it. The cannons wreck it, yeah. Okay, I'm moving from here because I see like 4 ships shooting at me at the moment. That's never good, even in a Federal Corvette. Putting back systems engines. More engines than systems, let's move. This is a dangerous situation. What's shooting at me currently? Well, these are shitty ships. There's an Explorer. And the other one... I can't select it. The other one is just a Scout. That's even more ridiculous. But I recharge my shields nonetheless. I believe the button should be this one. Okay. I have 2 shield cells. Now speaking to an expert, so I'm going to explain more. There should be... No, these are the boosters. The boosters actually give you more total and higher value of full shields, while the banks are the one that recharge it. I have 2 of them. One is a 7A, the other a 7B for some reason. I guess I didn't find it in the store when I mounted them. I usually put in 2 7As. Let's go back in the attack. Again, 3 systems, 2 engine. Yeah, well, 1 weapon has to be in there, so maybe 1.5 on the engine. You don't need much energy to shoot with the multi-cannons, but you need some to reload them. That's also an objective you have to destroy on the Farragut. It's the heat relay. I hope it's on this side of the ship. Seems to be. Yeah, I'm damaging it. I don't need to be that careful as I was on the first passage. It doesn't target you at once. Now I'm too hot, shooting with all guns. Okay, start shooting again. I'm overheating like mad. Mostly must be the incendiary ammo on the multi-cannons. Okay, it's doing some damage to me, but not much. The shields can hold, and the relay is almost gone. Four, 3, 2, 1. Target structure destroyed. Let's turn around with a nice drifting maneuver. What do we have here? There's another turret. give some time to the shields to recharge. Well, these shields take a lot to recharge. Might as well destroy this guy, he's so inviting. Just a scout will die soon. Again I overheat. What the hell? This thing's a sauna. Starting to feel the heat even here. This guy attacking all over. Yeah, you have enemies all around. Now I have to move again. Putting power to engine. And a bit to systems. How many? No, I have many cells, many banks I mean to recharge. I have another 6. Heat sinks on the other end are quite scarce, but that's normal in this game. So I just... oh, okay, fire an heat sink. Never mind that. So I'll recharge shields while firing an heat sink as it's meant to be. Also fire a chaff. Why not? Should be this one button. Yeah, like this. This is a chaff, you see. It confuses enemy weapons. As chaffs are bound to do. Why is everyone an enemy now? This is bad. I believe both factions are shooting me. That must be because I didn't declare at first. I should have declared on the right, I was told. Ah, from here. I know what you meant now, Mark. But I guess it's too late. That's a damn shame. No, they're all shooting at me. I have to leave, I'm sorry. It's the Farragut's lucky day. No, if I stay here, they're going to kill me for sure. And we absolutely have to avoid that. We go right back, but usually you cannot find the cruiser again when you do. So I'm starting to feel the heat, even in real life. Let me take off one layer. And here we are, back in the action. Okay, I'll have to go back to the zone. Let's hope the Farragut is still there, but I'm afraid not. There was nothing really I could do. When they start shooting from both sides, you have to leave, absolutely. I'm also recharging with a bank. You could actually have done, there's a strange menu where if you reboot your ship, you start again with... oh, now I can declare. Finally, okay, I'm fighting for the nobles of NLT. Fight for decision. Let's get feudal. Plus I wasn't actually completing my objective by shooting at the Farragut, so I guess it's for the best. Only destroyed 2 of 48 targets, that's going to take a while to say the least. Now. It says like this, but it's normal. You actually deactivate some unnecessary modules in battles, unless you have a huge power supply, but the power supply is one of the pieces that cost more in this game. So you almost never have it. Okay, this isn't the first time that it happens to me. Actually, the ships didn't spawn. I'll have to... I could leave the zone and return, but it's probably quicker to actually exit and re-enter the match. Takes a second. Well, 31 seconds for allowing me to... That's because I don't have full shields, I think. We better wait this. It's taking more if I leave and return. Whereas like this it's extremely quick. Ah well, I've been earning some arcs. The arcs is the new premium currency they added in the game. I guess that's their priority at this point. You can use it to buy cosmetics mostly, I believe. It's like a cell phone game now. But you can earn it by playing normally. So I have 700 now. That's interesting. We're still in the zone and now the ships are spawned, but I think I'll have to declare again. Yes, luckily it's not bugging me out again. Liberals of Tsu. Yeah, now I see. You see, Mark, there's an exclamation mark there. That's what you select for declaring. It wasn't there. I believe it was a bug. Declaring for the nobles. It's a shame because it has cost us the mission. Ooh, look what I see. That's a ship like mine. A federal corvette. We're getting to it eventually, but I'm going to shoot the guy that's attacking me first. What is that? Huh, that's a merchant ship. It's the Type 9 Heavy. It's a huge thing, a hulking beast of a ship, but it doesn't have big combat capabilities. I have no idea why he brought it in a combat zone. Must be a damn NPC, to say the least. that's dying very soon. Can do nothing to evade my shots. Why aren't the ray guns shooting? There's something strange. Ah yeah, I hadn't selected the correct weapons subgroups. Now I have. Trying to go for the drift again. It's always fun to look in a way while you're moving in another. In a direction, I mean. 68 health left. Actually, he probably has quite a bit of armor, being so big. Now I'm shooting with all guns. He's using shots, but it's so big it doesn't make much of a difference. The weapons still hit him. Harder than I imagined, actually. Well, he's an NPC of dangerous level. What's the sound? Didn't know that big ship spawn. Surely hope so. Didn't read the message. Or read it for that matter. 36%. His shields came back up, but won't last long. Yeah, the Farragut has come back, but I believe it's going to have its full array of modules fixed again. Because we gave it time to repair, I guess, or just because it's just a game and not very realistic. Oh, wait a minute. He's got a full compartment shields. I guess he used a cell. I mean a bank. Plus I have to move from here. The Farragut is pounding me. Let's put all pits to systems, as Mark suggested kindly. He used a shield bank. Now he has all his shield back. It's craftier than I imagined, this guy. Look at the little vipers being absolutely destroyed by the Farragut. That thing won't live long, I tell you. Well, better him than mine. Than me. Look at this guy, he doesn't want to die. I have to recharge my shields again. That's quite unexpected for a merchant ship. I think they made the game a little bit harder than the last time I played. But now it's finally dying. Come on, you cove. Oh, now I can actually head for something more interesting. Ah, there's another Type 9 Heavy. Look at this, almost dead. Maybe that was the one I was originally shooting. It's quite a possibility. I'll head straight for him and finish him in any case. Leaving the Farragut there for a minute, because, you see, my mission is destroying single ships actually. What's this sound? Okay, the stream disconnected. Let's come, it comes back up soon. What happened? Ah, my internet went out. Is the stream back up, I wonder? Let's see. It seemed I was having some technical difficulties with my web provider. It says reconnected. Let's check it out. These guys, I swear. Lately, it disconnects all the time. Web provider. Okay, it's working. Good. Would have been a shame otherwise. Why can I no longer see anything? What is this? It's all black. This is an Ah, okay, the game disconnected as well. So OBS managed to reconnect. The game didn't. But the good part is that we're still on air. Now let's put the chat window back up. You fuckers. I'm actually subscribed to Fastweb. It's one of the main providers here in Italy, but lately it's been quite shitty, to say the least. And now we lose the Farragut again, all because of our provider. Keeps getting annoying by the minute. Here we are, again in the conflict zone. Only destroyed one ship again. We're not doing much for the objective. Let's go against the liberals once more. Declaring for nobles. He's an half-dead Asp scout. I should actually go for easy ships, since my objective is to destroy 48 of them, so I can make it slightly quicker. I have to turn night vision on. Yes, it's better like this. I believe the Farragut will spawn again, so it's good I didn't actually waste ammo on its modules the second time. Maybe the third one's the charm, I don't know. And here goes our little friend, the scout. Bam! Destroyed.
We got an enemy captain in the area. Take him down.
That's another half-dead target. It's a normal Cobra, another small ship. That's actually a rather interesting ship to fly. Can do many things different. It's good for exploration and training both. Not very good in combat, especially against something like mine. Yes, I think so, Mark. They apparently changed many things since I played. I haven't lately much. But they added one thing I like a lot is the new trading interface. I don't know if you've seen it, maybe on YouTube. It actually tells you a lot more now. You can actually play the game without using external wiki, which is much more fun and natural. Tells you about the markets you have around. Look how it's going. I hit him, now he's turning around on the place. But some things, in my opinion, may actually have been worse. For instance, I don't understand why sometimes you can't select a fact. But I think it was a buggy update. As I said, they actually postponed the addition of player-controlled capital ships, or carriers as they call them, because they can launch other ships, just because of this. Because they had to fix the bugs first. It's a bit disheartening for a game so old as this. But of course it's in continued development, it's continually changing, so it's kinda comes with the territory. They're also a small development team, so it's already enough that the game gets made at this point. Unlike Star Citizen, to mention it again, which seemingly doesn't progress at all. Although I believe they must have improved it in many aspects, I don't know. I tried a demo some time ago. Seemed very good graphics, but doesn't have VR support, so that really is crippling in my eye. How can you make a game like this without VR support now? It's a big mistake. Yes, a ship like mine, that's another Corvette. You better show him who's boss. Plus it's just a deadly ranked NPC, so we outrank him, and that's bound to mean something. I said let's go for the easier shit, so now I go for the absolute bigger one that's in the battlefield. But it's worth more in terms of combat points, so that's that to consider. I'm out of ammo. Okay, I'm out of ammo for the multi-cannons. Let's synthesize it. While hoping I do have the materials. That's Small caliber munition, I think. Where is it? Small caliber munition. No, I don't have sulfur. Nah. This puts us out of the fight before I can destroy... Well, I'll keep trying and destroy that one at least. Now it's quite boring because I'll have to land on the settlement again. We don't have stations big enough to accommodate this ship. I'll have to try and get him with the railguns and the cannons, basically, plus the tiny laser I have on the bottom of the ship. But it's not that tiny, but I'm not the only one shooting at it, so it's probably going down. Eventually. Well, without the multi-cannons will take a while. Might as well go try to crash into him. That's not very realistic again. 37%. Going nowhere, my friend. Well, my rival. Boku no rival. Now he's lost his shields. Let's turn off flight assist so I can slide. Looks way more cool. I'm not shooting anything, not even the boost laser. Well, without the full armament it's kinda difficult to take down something like this. Should probably mount lasers on these huge hard points so I don't run out of ammo like this. Or at least bring more sulfur on the ship so I can recharge the turrets. That's a thought for another one, though. $23 now. We could try and target the power plant. Maybe we'll stop him on his tracks. I don't know if it's situated on the top or bottom of the ship, though. You can actually aim for it even without gimbaled weapon. But that's even harder. It's going down eventually. I'm not leaving such attack unattended. Yeah, I believe it's on the other side. I'm not damaging it, despite hitting the exact spot. Must be under the ship. It's almost dead anyway. Am I out of railguns too? No. Then why isn't it shooting? No, come on, it loaded his shields at 0%. Ah, it was too late. Okay, it's dead. Well. Now there isn't much I can do except to go and resupply at base. Unfortunately, I don't have the sulfur for recharging my multi-cannons. Where was the settlement again? Closer one, not necessarily the same. These are too small, I cannot land on that. No, that's only Bashigalupi station. Doesn't make sense to do anything but return there. Maybe it's stone on the planet at least. Would look a little different, I guess. It's at 3,437 light seconds. Seems a big number, but it's not really. Just 2-3 minutes of flight time. Plus we get to see this very cool ship from above. Here's the planet. It can move, huh? Look how it accelerates. I wonder what they can buy with 700 arcs. I'm going to check now. Maybe we'll get something like a dude, how's it called, a boggerhead, the little character thing that moves around when you maneuver. Well, I'd rather purchase a livery or something like that. This is a ship I'd like in red. would look like something out of Legend of Galactic Heroes. Just seen an episode yesterday. And it stopped again. Why do you do that? Accelerate, man. I should have gained quite a bit of reputation with the nobles, I guess. We'll see soon enough. Returning to resupply now for whoever came on the stream now. Unfortunately ran out of ammo. I think I'm trying to mount energy weapons on the huge hard points so we don't incur in this problem again. Otherwise it's going to be difficult destroying 40, more than 40. How many are left? 41 targets. Having to resupply whichever time. There's only one base and very far in the system, so I'll have to change my strategy. This was, if I'm not mistaken, a military settlement, so they did have several powerful weapons for sale, yes. They should have something I can mount on it, on my hard points. It's too bad I cannot recall other ships there, otherwise I'd use something different, but the base doesn't have the option for. I know, Mark, I did a mistake also. I mostly hated the exploration side. You can earn pretty well, but all you do essentially is boost from star to star for hours on end. What they call it, space madness. It certainly felt like that after a while. I did my exploration in an Asp Explorer accordingly. Quite appropriately, let's say. I have another exploration ship too, the new one. What was it called? The Mamba? I don't remember. The one that is flat and wide. I actually equipped that one as an exploration ship, but didn't bring it as far as the other one. Now the other one, the Asp Explorer, almost came to halfway to the center of the galaxy, but when I got there, no, I said, I don't care so much for seeing that black hole, I don't care, I want to go back to the fun and interesting part of the game. Made a lot of millions on that trip. That was part of what paid for the ship, and the other part was trading. You can make millions in trading in this game if you exploit all tools such as the wikis. There are some routes that earn you upwards of 10 million in 1 hour. Then of course you have to grind also the reputation with either the Empire or Federation. That's the most boring part. This can be an hell of a grind of a game, but looking back I don't know if it's worth it. In the end it's just as fun with smaller ships. You can experience most of the gameplay I'm showing you in a ship that is like half the size and 1/3 the price. Especially the new ones seem to be almost as good from a gameplay department. Of course you do less damage, you can't kill as big targets, but it's still a lot of fun, especially with friends. If that is, you can find friends that actually play this complex game. I think I'm too fast. Yeah, I am. No, what did I do? Now it's 56 kilometers away. I'm an idiot. Okay, let's cool down the FSD and we're trying it. The FSD is the device that lets you boost through space like that. Will take just a little while. That's really a newbie's mistake. I could try and boost straight to the station, but will take way much longer. It's better to engage it again and try to glide once more, which I'll be able to do in a second. The little FSD wheel is almost completely depleted. Yeah, I have one of these too. The third lens is a fun ship to pilot. Most of the times, instead of that, I actually end up piloting the Python because it's more versatile, but you have a hell of a time by fighting in the third lens. I also enjoy the one that is before this in the Federal side of Unlocks. What's it called? The gunship, I think, the Federal gunship. That's basically like the fighting part of the Anaconda, the other big ship, without the trading and exploration part. It has the ability of employing fighters and can mount a lot of weapons. If you put all multi-cannons in that kind of ship, you can do a lot of damage. Unless that is you end up depleting your ammunitions like I just did. Now I should be pretty down low. Where is the city? I have to move a bit from it. Well, it's 25 kilometers, it's not 50. Plus we get to check if there's other points of interest points of interest between here and the base, which I could try and rob. In any case, I have to switch armaments. This will make completing the mission almost impossible. Let's hope they sell them. Of course, I'm limited by their inventory. They could not have what I want. Nothing down below? No, there's nothing I can land and get. I still have the canisters I picked on my way up, if I'm not mistaken. Where are they? Well, they're not worth much, if anything at all. That's disappointing. I thought they were worth more. Let's ask for landing. Should I say docking? Gave me 8 again. Ciao Renzo, grazie per aver cliccato mi piace nel mio post. Lasciami un commento se ne hai voglia. Fa piacere vedere italiani che si interessano a questo tipo di giochi. Non siamo in tanti, ma ci siamo. Here it is. Landing pad 8. Slightly better landing than before, not perfect by any means. I'm employing again autopilot for the final stretch of it. That's a bit of a cheating. Now, before getting to the equipment part, I have to take a short break. It's like a minute, even less. Just be patient. Be right back. Where is it? Torno subito. And here we are. See, it didn't take long. Let me recenter the chat window that for some reason moved about. Like this, a bit more high. And back to business. There's someone taking off. Okay, give give me priority on the window. Back to business, really, for real. Let's enter the hangar and see if they actually sell the weapon I want. Now, if they don't, I might have to go somewhere else, because destroying 48 ships while having to resupply at this distance is completely impossible. You do have fairly long time to complete your mission. Let's see how much. So I could come back. Yeah, well, 20 hours. That's not so much. 20 hours means I'd have to complete it this afternoon. I don't think I'm playing this again in the afternoon. Okay, hard points. Well. Cannons. Well, the only thing they have at rank 4 is cannons. That's still projectile biased. Won't make much of a difference. Burst laser. I could put more lasers on the smaller hard points. Don't know how it would go. Plasma accelerator, ray guns, experimenter. Seems difficult. I'd rather pick another mission. That one's pretty difficult. See how I raised my reputation. I also cash in the bonds. So we didn't waste time after all. Not the bounties, the bonds. Well, didn't earn much. That's almost nothing in fact. 85. They really don't pay well in this place. One-time delivery. I could make one delivery to another system and then see how it goes. 935,000. 72 units. I hope they at least sell cargo bays. 72 isn't too much. Yeah, they do sell them. Nice military system you have here. A military system that sells cargo racks but doesn't sell weapon. That's quite surprising. I removed the shield cell bank since in any case I want to buy a better one. And now let's pick the mission for transporting that stuff. How much room do I have? 208. That's quite a lot. I could even pick 2 missions for delivery. One-time delivery is 72 units of reactive armor. Maridial. Stay you what? Yes, collect the items. I collected them. Yes. Might as well buy something else to sell. Where am I going? To Maridal. Okay. This is the new trading interface. Ah well, they sell almost nothing. In terms of goods they have almost nothing. I'm selling this crap I picked up before. It's worth very little. We're going to earn more on this delivery than like 2 hours of fighting. But we did get put from the conflict zone twice and that wasn't my fault. So I guess I can buy more reactive armor. Let's do this. It's a military system. Another 260,000 credits invested. Get it. Yeah. You better believe it.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
We're also entrepreneurs, not just errand boys. Where are we going now? That place. I need to filter it back in the map. That's Maridal, right there. This is the galaxy map, you see? Here it is. Just one jump. Let's hope pilots don't try to interdict us. Or rather, let's hope they do, so we can kick their ass. I have a full cargo hold with more than almost 200 units. I believe it's tons, almost 200 tons of reactive armor. It's worth quite a bit, so I'm probably at a good pirate's target. We're luckily oriented correctly to the next system. I can just get some more height, and I believe I should be able to hyperspace to it. No, maybe not. There's a dark place, a dark section of the planet, so I'll have to use super cruise a bit. Yeah, I cannot straight boost to it. Now you'll see space station, how they look in this game. They look amazing. You won't believe it. Here it is. Now I can hyperspace to Marital. Just one jump. Wait a second, you risk going back to the planet like this. It's a medium security system. I'm afraid... No, okay, it worked. Didn't read about the star. Well, we'll see it now, what it is. We're going to appear right in front of it after all. And this is our objective. Vonarburg Port. You can already see the shape of the station on the radar over there. It's shaped like a geometric shape. What is that? It's an icosahedron, I guess. Not sure. And it constantly rotates, so it can generate gravity for the people inside. It's actually an hollow ball, basically, with a big opening that we're going to pass through. It's not far, luckily enough. What do we have in this system, by the way? Points of interest? Seems nothing at all. Well, we'll see after I land. Yeah, rather after I overshoot the target, because I was stupidly checking its characteristics and didn't slow down. And that's not completely wrong. Ah, wait a second, here comes the pirate. It's a Type 10 Defender, that's one of the new ships. Let's pick a fight with it. It's a Trustmaster T1600. It's a fairly standard one, which I like quite a bit. The pedals aren't from it, however. The pedals are from Cytec. Look at this guy. Wait a second, I'm going to ask you more directly. Could be dangerous, in fact. These guys, I believe, are quite powerful. Wow, doesn't seem to flay so aggressively. So, as I was saying, I don't remember actually the name of the pedals. They are the ones the Cytec makes, well, Logitech actually. They make it under the Logitech brand, and they're used for civilian flight scenes mostly. But they use it for everything, including driving games, you better believe it. I even play Truck Simulator with it. They work well for everything. They have the full range of movement, both left to right and to the bottom as accelerator and brake. You don't have a clutch, of course, but a clutch is seldom used in racing games. Stick and throttle, as I said, is the T1600. He's such a pashorer, this guy. You want to steal all my reactive armor. Don't even have armor enough. I sent some good reviews. Ah, yeah, that's the best one. I also play DCS and fly often the A10. You might have seen it on the stream previously. So that would rock for me, actually. That's my favorite plane, but it costs like 300 bucks, or euros as we say here. Because most of the case, $300 correspond to 300 euros apparently when you're buying technology. Also, it's huge, so I believe I would have difficulties mounting it on my setup, which is a rather non-standard setup. You're not going to see it now. I'm going to show it on the stream eventually. I'm actually sitting on a folding play seat, kind of like a garden chair, more expensive in fact, but it's like a garden chair, and it has a mount for the wheel right here, And then I added to it 2 monitor arms, strapped to it with
Fighters locked up tight.
pieces of cardboard to make for the different, how is it said, the different gauge of the tubular structure. I don't know the words in English. So I strapped them, I blocked them with big clamp things that hold them in place. So I don't have much room for bigger joysticks. I believe the Warthog one would actually make it more difficult for me to play. Was a great improvement, I tell you, from what I had before, which was basically like most people just playing with joysticks on a desk that move every whichever way, and pedals that go ahead and push your chair back. It's hellish. This was a huge improvement. The seat was actually a great buoy. I didn't expect to like it that much. Well, it didn't cost much. It's extremely inexpensive compared to the true play seats they make. But having everything fixed on something that doesn't move when you go and interact with it makes a world of a difference. I'm actually quite satisfied to have invested in that rather than a bigger joystick. Maybe it wouldn't have made all that difference. Yes, von Arburg Port. What's his name? I don't know it. Maybe a scientist. $600. So much? Are you sure? I think I've seen it was €300. No, maybe more like 350, 60. Maybe it's more expensive in the US. That would be the first time I hear about something like that.
Scan detected.
In any case, that's an incredibly cool joystick. Like, you can spend more for the joystick than the blasted headsets, VR headsets. That sounds almost crazy. You can buy an Oculus for a lower price than that joystick and throttle. Maybe the price you're saying includes the pedals too. That would explain it. It's dangerous out there. Play it safe. They even added that verse. That's very modern. Okay, let's deliver your cargo. Deliver, I mean.
Touchdown confirmed. Clear to disembark. Welcome, Commander.
Welcome, thank you. Deliver. Why doesn't it deliver? Please confirm the amount of you want to deliver. Deliver items. Like this. Okay, you click on deliver. You can choose your reward. You have either just money, or money or reputation, money or articulation models. No, if they gave me a material, I could think about it, but for articulation models, I don't want these. I'll just pick the money. Plus, this already puts me in the friendly situation with the faction. It's good enough. I also have more articulation. No, what is it called? More reactive armor. They should buy it for a good price here. It's an high-tech system. This will have all the weapons I want, I believe. We can also recall other ships to this station. Yeah, I'm making a profit of it. A good 29,000. That's almost nothing of profit. Well, more or less, yes, Mark. More or less. Selling the reactive armor. Let's see if they also sell the Brother Shield Bank. I had a rather insufficient one. Enter the hangar now. I'm starting to recall ships here. It will have a cost, but not too high, I hope. Let's see what we can call here. Ordered by fee. The Python, well, it's 1 million credits. Yeah, the chat window is covering the prices. That's not an ideal configuration. Let's move the chat window a bit more to the right. Like this. And back to the game. I should be able to read the prices now, yes. Everything's so expensive. And I go on down. The Alliance Chieftain is pretty cool. That's a fairly agile ship. I could recall the Fer de Lance. It costs less than the Chieftain actually, probably is closer. The gunship is the one I spoke about. I love this one. I might want to recall this one. Crate Phantom is the new one, I didn't remember the name of. These are all small things. Tell you what, I'm going to recall here. The Crate Phantom for the purpose of exploration, should we want to start that side of things. No, wait a second. Maybe the Aspect Explorer is cheaper. Yeah, the Aspect Explorer is just a good, even better for exploration. So recall it. Yes, 194,000 credits, that's not too much. And I guess I recall here also the Ferdinand, which is a very cool ship. Not too expensive to recall. Confirm. And now, I'm going to sell what I have left. No, not from here. Of reactive armor. No, I really did it. Okay, no, I'm getting confused. In contacts, I can redeem some bounty. 200. This will cover all the transfer expense. And let's see the missions they have in this place. Hopefully something interesting. Something about combat, I hope. Assassinate a deserter. Massacre ships. Just the same we was trying to do before. 30 millions. Well, you have to destroy 81 ships. You better pay me well for that. Wartime, now that's boring. Assassination isn't too bad. Boom time delivery. That's very lucrative. Tell you what, I'll pick the boom time delivery. And also so we get our hold a little bit full. And then go for the assassination mission. Let's do two things in a row. Where's the assassination? Yeah, assassinate the sword. Now my hold is partially full, but not so much so that I cannot mount another shield bank. Let's hope they sell the better one. Optionally internal. Shield bank, where is it? Ah yes, this is an high-tech system, they're going to have everything. Well, it's worth 9 millions. We can afford it, I have 57. Store or exchange. Value matters for store, you always need you should also check if the energy requirements are met. This thing will consume quite a bit more. It's also going to be a problem if I mount different weapons. Energy weapons consume a lot more energy. They have everything here. Fragment cannon, burst laser, rank 4 burst lasers. That's interesting. They cost 1 million. Tell you what, I'll buy them and store them. Might want to mount them later, but I'm not going to do it now. Now it's changing the weapon. I didn't want to do that. I guess it's up to him. It's going to change it and change it back. No, wait a second. I'm going to buy them and store them. So put back the other one for later. And possibly they don't want to transfer it because it's a find module. So it's another 3. My god, it costs a lot. Are you going to do it eventually? I guess I broke the law eventually at some point with this ship. So I have to pay the fee now for each module. They're such thieves. But you have to pay eventually. I cannot even see the weapon being mounted. Okay, and buy another. I hope you're not going to dismount the multi-cannon again, but I'm afraid it's going to. Yeah. Store. So now we have to wait for it to mount, unmount, and then do it again. It's very stupidly made. Look at it. Okay, you're doing something useless. Now you put back the same one. You have to clean it. Another 300,000, just to be sure. We're pretty close to the day, as in Italy have to pay our taxes after all, so it's very in topic. And here comes back the multi-cannon. Okay. Plus you should actually engineer, that is power up guns before using them. We still did a little upgrade by buying the shield bank. I might sell the older one. You can do it remotely too, even though it's at the other station. Where is it? Shield bank, shield bank. Ciao! Shield bank. Che serve aiuto? Ok. Cannot find it. Okay. No idea where it is. I believe here it is, here it is. Shield sell back. You cannot sell it because you have to clean it first. So it's another 194,000. But by selling, I'm going to recoup almost 4 millions. So I guess it's worth it. Okay. Too bad they don't sell the improved armor, why it's so expensive. I probably wouldn't be able to afford it. Got my changes to a module, okay. I'll have to check the energy requirements of the new bank. Now the chat window is scoring another important part. I'll have to raise it a little. Like this. Okay. So what I do usually to check the power requirements is turning on unnecessary modules for combat. Planetary fuel scoop. Let's see the ones I put at the lowest priority. Yeah, we're within specs. Okay, that's good. I'm activating them again. I'm going to self-deactivate when needed. So now I have the delivery goods in the hold, yeah, and 2 missions. Well, 3, including the one from previously. I go to assassinate the deserter first and then deliver my cargo. Auto launch.
This is a flight regulations reminder. Please do not obstruct the access corridor during arrival or departure. Thank you and enjoy your stay.
Landing gear retracted.
That's a huge beluga liner. These are actually ships that carry tourists around the galaxy. They're extremely big. Some people use them for combat. They can do pretty well in it, surprisingly. Oh, now I go. No, I didn't bump into him. Good, they would have found me. This planet looks interesting. I believe you could land on it, but it's probably not worth it. Let's go to our deserter we're supposed to assassinate. These blasted deserters, I swear. Now, assassination missions are usually pretty easy, but it's not the rule. Sometimes you meet something that is actually too strong and you better run away. This actually happens more often when it's obviously a wing mission. One mission you have to do with your friends, you're supposed to at least. 44 units of non-lethal weaponry. We're carrying it, yes. Okay, boost to the other system so we can kill the deserter. And we will have our dessert. I actually like it more, the chat window up there. And it doesn't cover the game interface. Like hanging it on the wall. Don't have much time left on the stream, so I guess after these 2 missions I'll have to disconnect. And sorry guys, but I'm coming back this afternoon. We're completing the missions in any case. Another 20 minutes or so. The deserter has a planet as a target. That probably means he's around the planet. You originally had to scan the nav beacon for this kind of mission. Now it seems to tell you already where. Yeah, scan analysis is done by the guys that actually give you the mission, so you can go straight for the target. Let's hope he pilots something big so that the fight looks more interesting. Not so far. These lines you see are the planet's orbits. The game shows them on as a default. I believe you can disable them, but they're actually quite useful. These are signal source. Let's see what it is. Encoded emissions. Nah, that's not worth it. Encoded emissions means you'll probably find some canisters containing information that are worth something to a broker, but not much. Now if they were high grade instead, that would be quite valuable materials and I would stop, but in this case I won't. There's another unidentified signal, but it's past us by now. 25 seconds to arrival. So, since the target apparently is around this planet, yeah, it's already shown on the map. Here it is. Mission target. Threat 4. That's quite a bit. Threat 4, what is it? Must be a big ship. Probably as escort too. Better be on guard. Assassination missions is actually the kind of mission where I died the most while flying big ships like this. Let's hope it doesn't happen, because that would cost us a lot, to say the least. I'll be on guard. I overshoot it. Sometimes it happens. Especially when it's not a solid target, but just a point, an arbitrary point in space. Here it is. What's this guy? Here it is. Who are you? Launching the fighter at once. I see some friendlies, that's good. And a couple of big ships. Don't tell me the bandit is the pilot, because that's ridiculous. What level 3 threat? That's ridiculous shit. It's going to die in a minute. Realize. Don't get my hopes up like this. Another pass. And one. Do I have really to waste time? No, I'm not going to follow a puny eagle. The mission is completed. Let's recall the fighter first. I tend to forget about it.
Roger that. Commencing fighter recovery.
Frameshift charge detected.
Here you see the landing bay. And here he comes. And he's in. Hi, little fighter. Welcome back. Okay, now for the delivery. Last mission of the day. Should be, yeah, Meridian. No, wait, Meridian is where I'm coming from. That's for completing the assassination mission. Delivery is to be done at the HR 7793 system. Actually, the further one from this place I can boost to in a single jump. That's very fortunate. Or lucky, should I say. Here we go. High security system in the inner Orion spur. We will have another quarter of hour after I complete this mission, I'm going to show you, as promised, very briefly, I'm afraid, Space Engine, which is the software that actually lets you visit scientifically the same places you see in this game. It's such a cool spectacle. Okay, landing on Berniovsky Ring first. Why is it called ring if it's not a ring? That's an icosahedron, guy. Learn your geometry. Benkiovsky. An iconic starport. Offers safe harbor and a series of services. It's on the official HR 793 order. Not so far. We'll be there in a second. So let's remember the name of this place. We're at HR 7793. That's a real star catalog number. I'm coming here with Space Engine after I land. I want to see how it is in real life. Well, in real simulated life. Use your captain. Due to unforeseen delays, we will be arriving at our next destination. I don't care. Why are you telling me? I'm not on your blasted ship. 55 seconds to landing now. Maybe next time we could try to be running Elite Dangerous and Space Engine at the same time and check the systems as we visit them in each software. That could make for an interesting stream. I don't think everyone's ever done that. Because Space Engines follows science much more. It's not a game, of course. More like an interactive planetary software. But you can land on any kind of planet and it looks incredibly realistic. Yes, Beniovsky Ring. Space stations usually have their opening, that is the place where you land from, on the side of the planet. You can almost count for it. So I'm going to move towards the inner of this yet another gas giant. The captain on the liner keeps telling me is in the top 1% of all liners. They constantly say that. I don't absolutely care. Yes, the orbit of the station. I don't believe this is the orbit of an actual satellite of the planet, just a station. We're landing on. Here you see the opening, little mail slot thing. It's visible on the hologram of it near the radar. Almost there now. Accelerate a little bit more. Decelerate now. Maybe I should have decelerated more. Yeah, why did I accelerate when I had to decelerate? What a stupid thing to do now. I have to turn around. And I also come from the wrong way. I guess that's to be expected after 2 hours of battles. Now the opening is still positioned pretty well. And here we are, at Beniovsky Ring. That isn't a ring at all. Someone should tell them, maybe they think they are a ring. I've never seen the side of the station. And now I'm going to land with a big drifting maneuver. Eurobeat music intensifies. Isn't so easy in this huge ship of mine. Yeah, not drifting that much. Let's point straight at the slot. Maintain current heading. Yeah, but if you could maintain current heading too, look at how it's turning in place. This so-called ring station that isn't a ring at all. Let's hope I don't bump into anyone on my way in, or the station itself as I did. I have to use the rear gear now. And now I can go in. Landing pad 17. Where are you? 17? Okay, right there. Now I'm going to overshoot it again. That must be the theme of the day. Also, autopilot engaged by itself. It's initiative, but I guess that's for the best. Yes. Yeah, it's going to land well. Let's let him do it. And signal loss because I went into the building. Let's deliver the goods. Cash in. So we're in, as I said, H7793. I better remember. 7793. I'll use Italian, it's easier this way. 7793. On time delivery. Complete. And titanium. Titanium now is something you have to sell as a commodity. I'll just get the money. Give me the money! Okay, this concludes the mission. Name of the place HR7793. Okay, let's go to Space Engine for a minute before I end the stream. Now I want to make this little experiment of mine. Let's see if it's something we can stream for fun. It's the final thing I do this morning. I'm almost out of time. Still have 10 minutes or so. Here is what I want to run. 7793. You better remember it. Start in VR. Takes a little time. So have you ever heard about this software? It used to be a freeware originally. Then when they made the VR version, they started charging for it. But it's very much worth it. It's one of the more amazing things you can actually see in VR. Let's see if that system actually exists. HR7793. Yeah, it exists in Elite. I believe it's not a real start system then. No, wait a second, that's an actual space-themed website. That's discovered in Italy, actually. From San Giuliano Milanese. That's interesting. Let's try this thing. Where is my Space Engine? It's taking longer than expected. Generating something, I guess. This makes it difficult with how little time I have. Maybe they upgraded the game in a significant way. 7 on November. Wow, that's a fairly long list of changes. Added config file with ability to enable disable Steam Workshop. Ah yeah, they added Steam Workshop. I have to check this out. What can you download for it? Hub de la comunità. Well, they added Steam Lab support. This doesn't mean Steam Lab is actually in the game yet. That's disappointing. How long yet? My god, it's just at 30%. No, I guess we won't be able to do it now. There won't be enough time left. In any case, at least we know now that the star HR7793 actually does exist and has an actual location, as all stars within Elite Dangerous actually do. It's a completely realistic representation of the Milky Way galaxy. So I guess this concludes my stream for the morning. I guess when I come back online in some hours, it will be 2:30 p.m. UTC plus 2 Italian time. That's about 4 hours from now. We're going to check Space Engine out. It's almost ready now, but I'm also almost out of time. We won't be able to do anything now. I'll launch it as soon as we came back online. And hopefully I'll be able to launch War Thunder 2, but it seems to no longer work. So, I also had configured a different view. What was it? Turno subito, face back cam. Yeah, so you can look at me. Yeah, bigger size. So I'm not taking this out for long because I cannot speak to you. I don't know if the microphone still works. In any case, see you this afternoon, real soon. Bye, guys. Thank you for being on the stream. Like and follow my page if you feel like it. Bye bye.